Are you stuck in a relationship that's draining the life out of you? Stop wasting your time. In this video, I'll reveal the 10 signs that tell you it's time to walk away and let her go before it's too late. Relationships are supposed to lift us up, but sometimes we find ourselves stuck in a toxic dynamic that does nothing but pull us down. Whether it's a relationship with a girlfriend, partner, or someone you care about, the signs can be clear if you know what to look for. Today, I'm going to walk you through 10 undeniable signs that it's time to let her go. Because, trust me, hanging on will only lead to more pain. So if you're feeling exhausted, frustrated, or just plain unhappy, keep watching. You might recognize some of these signs in your own life. Let's get into it. Sign number 10, lack of communication. Let's start with communication, because in reality, it is the bedrock of any relationship. Now, when I say lack of communication, I'm not talking about one-off situations where your partner is busy and can't chat for a while. I'm talking about a consistent pattern of avoiding real, deep conversations. When you try to address important topics, whether it's your future together, something that's bothering you, or even just day-to-day logistics, she shuts down, changes the topic, or just plain ignores you. Imagine you're trying to discuss something as simple as planning a weekend getaway, but every time you bring it up, she says, "I'm too tired," or "Can we talk about this later?" Only for later to never come. It's frustrating, right? Eventually, you start to feel like your voice doesn't matter. It's like you're not being heard, and the conversations become one-sided. This kind of behavior often hints at deeper issues, like avoidance or even a lack of interest in the relationship. This isn't just about ignoring tough conversations. It's about emotional unavailability. When someone continuously avoids communication, it could mean they don't see a future with you, or they don't feel safe sharing their real thoughts. Either way, communication is essential for any relationship to grow and thrive. If it's missing, you'll find yourself growing distant, even if you're still physically together. Think about this. You can't build a future with someone who isn't willing to sit down and have honest discussions about that future. So if she's constantly avoiding the tough talks, it might be time to consider if you're investing your time and energy in the right place. Sign number 9, lack of support. Next, let's talk about support. In a healthy relationship, both partners should feel supported by one another. Whether it's career achievements, personal growth, or emotional support during tough times, you need to feel like you've got someone in your corner. But what happens when you start to notice that your accomplishments, instead of being celebrated, are downplayed or even ignored? Maybe you've just gotten a big promotion at work, something you've been working toward for months or even years. And when you excitedly tell her, she barely looks up from her phone. Worse, maybe she responds with something like, "It's just more work for you. I don't know why you're so happy about it." That stings, right? Suddenly, instead of feeling proud of yourself, you start to second-guess your achievement. It's one thing for a partner to be neutral, but if she's belittling your accomplishments or not showing up for you when you need her, it's a massive red flag. This lack of support can stem from insecurity on her part. She might feel threatened by your success or worried that as you grow and achieve more, you'll outgrow her. While those feelings might come from her own insecurities, it's not fair to you. A partner who genuinely loves and values you will want to see you succeed and will be there to cheer you on. If you find yourself in a relationship where your successes are met with indifference or even jealousy, it's time to ask yourself, is this the kind of support I deserve? You deserve someone who will celebrate your wins with you, not someone who diminishes them. Sign number 8, feeling unappreciated. Now let's take this one step further. How many times have you gone out of your way to do something special for her, only to be met with indifference? Maybe you planned a thoughtful date, cooked her favorite meal, or surprised her with a gift. But instead of gratitude, all you get is a shrug, or worse, a complaint. Imagine this scenario. You've spent all afternoon preparing a romantic dinner. The table is set, candles are lit, and you're genuinely excited to see her reaction. But when she walks in, all she says is, "Why spaghetti? You know I'm not really into pasta." Ouch. It's disheartening, right? You were expecting a smile, maybe even a thank you, but instead, you're left feeling like your efforts didn't matter. When you're constantly making an effort to show love and appreciation, and she's giving you nothing in return, it's easy to start feeling unappreciated. Relationships are about give and take, and both partners should be making an effort. If you're always the one trying to make her happy while she dismisses or criticizes your efforts, resentment will inevitably build up. Over time, this feeling of being unappreciated can chip away at your self-esteem. You start to wonder, am I not good enough? Is what I'm doing not enough? But the truth is, it's not about you. It's about her inability or unwillingness to recognize the value of what you bring to the relationship. If she can't appreciate your efforts now, will she ever? Sign number 7, one-sided effort. Let's keep building on this idea of effort. Relationships require work from both sides. But what happens when you're the only one putting in the work? If you're always the one initiating plans, making compromises, and trying to keep things alive while she's just coasting along, it's a sign that the relationship is seriously out of balance. Think about how exhausting it feels to be the one always making the plans. You're the one texting first, calling first, planning dates, and trying to keep the spark alive. Meanwhile, she's putting in little to no effort. Maybe you've organized a surprise weekend getaway, and instead of being excited, she says, "Can't we just stay home and order takeout?" It's draining, and after a while, it makes you feel like your energy is being wasted. Relationships should feel like a partnership, where both people are equally invested in making things work. If you're constantly the one giving, eventually you'll feel burned out, and the resentment will build. A healthy relationship involves two people who are both willing to put in the effort. If she's consistently leaving all the work up to you, ask yourself why. If she truly cared about the relationship, she'd want to meet you halfway. Sign number 6, different life goals. Now, let's move to something that's often overlooked but can be one of the biggest deal breakers in a relationship: different life goals. You could have amazing chemistry, great conversations, and a strong physical connection. But if your long-term visions for life don't align, it's going to be a constant struggle. Let's say you're ambitious. You want to move to a big city, climb the corporate ladder, and maybe even travel the world. But she's more focused on staying in your hometown, close to her family, and isn't interested in moving or taking on new adventures. Or maybe it's the issue of starting a family. She's ready to have kids, and you're not sure if you ever want them. These are fundamental differences that go beyond just preferences. They're about the very core of what you want out of life. If you ignore these differences, hoping they'll magically resolve themselves, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Life goals are not something you can compromise on without sacrificing your own happiness. If you want drastically different things in life, no matter how much love or attraction there is, eventually, that disconnect will cause friction. The truth is, you deserve to be with someone whose life vision aligns with yours. Staying in a relationship where your dreams and goals are incompatible will only lead to resentment and heartache in the long run. Sign number 5, dishonesty. Honesty is one of the most important foundations of a healthy relationship. Without it, there's no trust. And without trust, there's no real connection. If she's lying to you, whether it's about where she's been, who she's with, or what she's doing, it's a sign that something's seriously wrong. Maybe she tells you she's out with friends, but you later find out she was somewhere else entirely. Or she lies about small things, like how much she spent shopping or who she's texting. These lies might seem small at first, but over time, they add up and erode the trust you have in her. The thing about dishonesty is that it breeds insecurity. When someone lies, it makes you question everything they say. You start to wonder, what else is she hiding? Can I trust anything she tells me? This constant questioning can drive you crazy, and it's no way to live. If you can't trust her, the relationship is built on shaky ground. And if you've caught her lying multiple times, despite confronting her about it, it's time to seriously consider whether this relationship is worth saving. You deserve honesty, transparency, and someone who respects you enough to tell you the truth. Sign number 4, constant disrespect. Respect is fundamental to any relationship. Without it, love can't flourish. If she's consistently disrespecting you, whether it's through her words, actions, or how she treats you in front of others, It's a sign that she doesn't value you the way she should. Maybe she mocks your opinions, makes fun of your interests, or belittles your career. And maybe she does it in front of your friends or family, leaving you feeling humiliated and small. Even if she tries to brush it off by saying, "I was just joking," that doesn't excuse the disrespect. Disrespect can come in many forms, from cutting remarks to eye rolls to dismissing your feelings. And over time, it chips away at your self-esteem. No one deserves to be treated like that, especially not by someone who's supposed to love and care about you. If you've told her how much her disrespect bothers you and she continues to act the same way, it's a major red flag. You deserve to be in a relationship where you're treated with kindness, consideration, and respect. Anything less, and it's time to walk away. Sign number 3, emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation can be incredibly subtle, but its effects are deeply damaging. Manipulators use guilt, fear, and confusion to control you, making you feel like you're the one in the wrong even when you're not. It's a tactic that creates a power imbalance and makes you question your own judgment. Maybe she makes you feel guilty for spending time with your friends, saying things like, "If you really loved me, you wouldn't go out tonight." Or maybe she constantly questions your loyalty, accusing you of being unfaithful or not caring enough, even though you've done nothing to deserve it. This kind of manipulation can make you feel like you're always walking on eggshells, afraid to upset her or say the wrong thing. It keeps you off balance and creates a dynamic where you're always trying to prove your love or loyalty, no matter how unreasonable her demands are.